Welcome back, Bet the Juice Podcast. Northeast Conference Tournament Preview. Shout out NEC Front Row. If you don't know, if you don't watch any of the Northeast Conference, they do... Okay, I'm going to keep it real. I wouldn't say the production's not insane. It's not anything crazy, but they do air all their games. They do have their own app. You can do it on your computer. You can do it on your TV. If you got a Roku, Fire Stick, or anything like that, you can download the NEC Front Row app. You can watch all the games, do it on your tablet, computer, anything. It's awesome because you at least can watch the games. It's awesome. We didn't have that forever. For a long time, some of these smaller leagues, it was really, really hard to follow. So I don't want to hear any fucking excuses about how you don't know anything about Wagner or Stonehill because you can watch all these games. And if it's talking another conference like the WAC, you don't know about Utah Valley. It's like, dude, it's on ESPN Plus. You can watch all the games. That's how you get better at gambling. Like, analytics are a big thing. They do matter. But the best way to get really good at betting college basketball is, in my opinion, it's to watch the fucking games. It's not one on a spreadsheet. It's about spots and all this stuff. You got to know the coaches. Just watch the fucking games and you'll get better at it. 100%. And your money's made in these, especially in these mid-major conferences. Yeah, this is, again, one of my favorite leagues just because, to me, I'm from the Midwest. But to me, specifically, when I think of college basketball, I think of the Northeast. I think of the Big East, and that is the first thing that will come to my mind, is always the Big East Conference. But basketball to me is the Northeastern sport. And I love the regionality with these ones, even though they got Chicago State now. But there's still just it's awesome, and it's just I love good Northeast basketball. And they actually do have some really good ones this year. So now 8 teams get in from this league. Pretty easy, simple tournament bracket. It is an 8-team bracket. Let's actually get to that real quick. It is an 8-team bracket, and there's a reseed in the second round, but then after that, it's just straight. The semis are straight after that, so obviously because they go to the finals. But there is one reseed, so you got to take that into your handicapping when you're picking a winner here and finding some of your best bets. Let's go to the odds here. Long Island with Rod Strickland doing a hell of a job here. They're minus 200. All odds are DraftKings, by the way. Shop around. You can get a better line somewhere else, probably. Not laying minus 200 in the NEC tournament. You're fucking crazy. Central Connecticut State is 4-1. Mercier 6-1. Lemoyne 10-1. Stonehill 60-1. Wagner 71. Fairleigh Dickinson, the notable winners over a 1-seed Purdue, 150-1. Chicago State 300-1. Now bracket, pretty easy layout here again. 8 teams. You get a reseed in the second round. And then we go from there. Let's just jump right into it, man. Chicago State, my arch nemesis, the Chicago State Cougars. Sorry, I got Bellarmine is playing right now. Bellarmine and Jacksonville. I got somebody on Bellarmine, so I got to watch that too. And if you check out the Atlantic Sun preview, 55-1 to win it all. Not too crazy. So yeah, they've basically been my arch nemesis all year. I feel like I'm always on the wrong side of a Chicago State game. It all started on December 14th when I still had hope that Little Chicago was still a good basketball team, and it was just a rough patch for them. Well, they were 10-point favorites, 11-point favorites, whatever it was, and they over Chicago State. Chicago State beat them by 9. And then, I was done with this team. They lost a bunch of games in a row, and I'm telling you, the first time I jumped back on a Chicago State game was I bet Mercyhurst. Chicago State won outright. I remember betting them against Central Connecticut State, and they covered. And they won 3 in a row. And then again, I get on them for Chicago State. They lost. And then the LIU game on Thursday, don't even want to start with it. Covering the entire way, and then the very end of the game, Bussy gets like 4 techs and basically just drops the entire thing for me, and they end up not covering. So it was kind of tough. It was actually really, really tough. But as much as I've been kind of glossing over this team, I'm still going with Long Island. They're the best offense in this league by a pretty significant margin. And Chicago State's at the bottom of both offense and defense. Not a lot of great going for them. They played twice this year. LIU beat them by 19 on the road, and LIU beat them at home by 17. I expect the season sweep from the Sharks, and I have the Sharks advancing to the next round. I'm probably going to go in order here of the twos because it is a reseed. So Central Connecticut State and Wagner. Wagner is kind of a name if you follow this conference at all. They've been here for a long time, but I think Pat Sellers has one of his best teams he's had in years. They are 7-1 in their last 8 games. That one loss being to Chicago State, oddly enough, on the road. Because they blitzed them. I don't know what that was. Nothing could fall down for Central Connecticut State that day, but I'm a big fan of the real Blue Devils. They play at a pretty slow pace. They're really good from the free throw line. They can shoot the three really well, and they do defend hard. So pretty simple for me here. I have the Blue Devils advancing to the second round. Let's go that 3-6 matchup. Mercyhurst and Fairleigh Dickinson. No Tobin Anderson anymore, obviously. Castleberry had these guys clicking for a minute. They were winning games after they were basically the automatic fade for a while. But down the stretch, they suffered. Losses to New Haven, which is not a good loss. Loss to Lemoyne, it's not a terrible loss. And then Long Island fucked them up. We all kind of, most people probably expected that to happen, or if you didn't, you should have. Not a lot going for them, pretty middle of the pack and everything. Their offense isn't terrible. They do play at like a decent speed. So, or not like speed, sorry, the speed's the wrong word. They actually play at a snail's pace, but it's a speed that can kind of muck games up and be able to, like, if you're getting out talented, you can burn some clock and be able to find a way to keep this somewhat close. And for Mercyhurst, eligible for the NCAA tournament, I do believe, I actually need to double check that. They might still be, which again, one of the dumbest rules in sports. If you're reclassifying from Division II to Division I, why do you have to reclassify? I'll never understand that. So currently they are still ineligible. So this is their Super Bowl. So that's another angle. Like this is it. You lose, you're done. You win it all, you're done. That's how you cap off your season. And with that being said, I think they're going to try to do whatever they can to end their season on a high note. I think they knock off Fairleigh Dickinson here, and they advance to the semifinals. Now, in this 4-5 matchup, really good. I don't think either of these teams are eligible either. So it looks like Stonehill is eligible, Lemoyne is not. So you could say, well, you just said this is their plan for their season, blah, blah, blah. Like Lemoyne, yeah, they are. But I like Stonehill, man. They defend really, really hard. It's slipped in the last couple weeks here. They had a really rough patch where they were letting up a decent amount of points. But other than that, man, they play really hard defense. They can shoot it. I think they're really well coached. I think we do get at least one upset in this tournament. And Stonehill, the Skyhawks, get to the semifinals. In our semifinal matchup, we have Long Island and Stonehill. Rod Strickland, man, he's NBA great, I guess you want to say. He was a little bit before my time, but I know he's a pretty good NBA player. As a coach, I don't really know because I feel like Long Island, in comparison to everybody else in the NEC, has always got more talent. I don't really know the NIL situation in the conference, but they've always seemed like they're more talented. They have more like athletes than everybody else. And now clearly they have the best player in the league. Malachi Davis is probably not really close either. The Smith kid for Central Connecticut State is pretty good too, but Malachi Davis is a dog. I think that's enough. They are just, I don't want to come off anyway, but I like to say it all the time. Stonehill's a white, got a lot of whites. Long Island's got a lot of athletes. So, and this is also, all these games are also on campus too. So I'm going to like the Sharks to advance to the title game. And in that 2-3 matchup here, we have Central Connecticut State and Mercyhurst. And for me, I'm going with the Blue Devils. I think we're going to get pretty chalk here in the title game with the 1-2 matchup here. Central Connecticut State, I think, in my opinion, has been the best team in the conference, but they can't get that monkey off their back with Long Island. They've got beat by them both times this year, but both were relatively close. They did get kind of blown out at home, but the game was close for a long time, and then Long Island kind of pulled away from them. But I really like this Blue Devil team. They shoot. They play at a good pace. They defend really well. I have them in the chalk matchup here with Long Island. And as far as my champion, I'm not betting minus 200, regardless if I think they were winning the conference in Long Island. That's just, to me, in a mid-major league, to win the conference is just very, very dumb. Either way, I think Central Connecticut State wins this conference. I think they're the best team in the league. I know they got beat both times by Long Island, but it's really hard to beat a team 3 times. I think this one, in the most important matchup between the two, Central Connecticut State jumps up, takes down the Sharks, and advances to their first ever. If I want to double check that, I do not think they've ever made the NCAA tournament before, and that is stuff I love to see. They have never made the NCAA tournament, and I think that changes this year, and the Blue Devils get to the title game. If you see my hand moving here, I am petting my dog. It looks kind of funny on screen. Hey, baby. What's the matter, baby girl? So as far as my best bets, I don't really see a scenario where Central Connecticut State's not in the finals. And for what I'm not betting, there's no way in hell you're going to me to bet LIU. And do not pair them with another minus 500, minus 200, minus 160 to get your odds to like plus 150 to win the conference tournament. That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. There is too much craziness that happens in these conference tournaments to be combining these to get like a 1.5 value to your dollar. Like it's so idiotic. You shouldn't be doing it with just regular games on the weekend either, but especially in a tournament setting when there's multiple games. Like, your implied odds are fucking terrible. And if you hit it, congratulations, you're still a fucking idiot. It's the dumbest thing in the world. Do not do that. But no, I'm taking Central Connecticut State 4-1. I think they're the best team. All these odds, DraftKings again. Shop around, you can probably find a better line out there somewhere else. But to me, I think Central Connecticut State wins this tournament, and I'm definitely taking them 4-1 if I do think that they're going to win the whole thing. And then my long shot, 16-1, definitely take Stonehill. If they can get past Long Island in the second round, like, you're in the title game versus Central Connecticut State. Like, I actually think this team is really good. They've been, they struggled a little bit. They had some rough patches, but when they play their best, I think they're one of the best teams in this league. And I think they have the best defense in this league. And if they can unlock that again, 60-1 is some really good value there to at least have a chance to find a way to make money with a hedge or a cash out. So I'm going to go with the Skyhawks at 60-1. So that concludes the NEC preview. I'll be back later tonight with some more previews, man. And we are just locked in. It is March. Let's go. I'll see you guys on the other side. I am out of here.